Hey, welcome to a very special Swift edition of Vinyl Fetish. We are here to talk about the new Taylor Swift album, The Dead Poets Society. No, what is it called? I'm here with my special Swiftoid, Cozy Blazak.
The Tortured Poets Department.
Tortured Poets Department, that's the name of it. And it dropped last night on streaming at 9 p.m. West Coast time. We hit the button right at 9 o'clock and listened to it.
Oh my god.
We're listening to it. It dropped and we played.
Yeah, immediately when it dropped, we hit play.
For a fortnight.
With Post Malone.
We're gonna review it. This is sort of an interesting way of doing this. We're gonna talk about the album in depth in a bit. We just got back from Music Millennium where the vinyl edition dropped. I should say 4 vinyl editions dropped. There's 4 different versions. I was hoping for the anthology version, which they don't have on vinyl yet, but we got a particular version of it, and we're going to talk about it. So first, and then Cozy is going to a Swiftie listening party where everybody's dressing up as a different era. Which era are you? Reputation. And then when she comes back from the party, after they've listened to it, we'll do a full review of the record. So, Cozy, why don't you show the vinyl version that we have? We're going to open it. Okay, we got the beige version, and it has a song called Manuscript that I really like, a bonus track. So, well, first things first. When we listened to it last night, what was the first thing that you thought when you heard it?
That I was going to cry.
That you were going to cry.
Because it's so good.
I know.
Please listen to it. You will love it. Trust me.
And when we walked into Music Millennium today, what was the first thing that you did?
It was just a big,
display.
It was so cool.
And then you screamed.
And I screamed.
You screamed. It was Swift. Okay, so we're going to open it up to see what the physical vinyl version looks like. It's a double album, but this is not the anthology version, which is 30-something songs. So I got my little special opener to open it up. It has a little, yeah, I got that from work, and it doesn't work very well anymore. So I've been opening records for decades. Alright, this is the unboxing. Let's see what this is going to look like. Supposedly this is obviously it's going to be different than streaming, but okay, it has a little sticker on it that says what the bonus track is. Okay, here we go. We have this nice picture of her on the back, being all emo as usual. Alright, here we go. Ready? We're going to open it. Oh my god, look at this. It's a freaking book.
It's a book about...
It smells really good. It smells like a book.
Oh, it smells like a book.
Yeah, look at it. It has the lyrics. Oh my gosh, really nice. I should be sharing this. Look at this nice packaging.
And also, I know...
It's Fortnite.
I know, Taylor, if you see this, I love you, but you might not see this, so never mind.
Okay, let's look at the actual vinyl.
Okay.
Alright, there's more here. And then...
Torches.
Look at this.
It's beautiful.
Isn't that cool?
Don't smudge it with your...
I'm not touching it with my fingers. There's that one. Hold that one, and let me pull the other one out. It's really a nice package. It's really elaborate. It shows you how much she loves her fans, that there is all this care put into the packaging. Okay, so that's it. Dad's going to stay at home and spin the vinyl. We're just going to focus on the first part of the album, not the whole anthology part, because that's what we've been digesting. Yeah. Because there's a lot of freaking songs to digest.
I absolutely love it.
So far, okay.
Not so far.
Oh, I know.
Everything. I know I can't choose a favorite, but this is right now, because it's new. It's my favorite.
Which is
this one.
Oh, well, yeah.
TTPD.
Yeah. Oh, of her albums.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're in it. You're in the moment. Let's take a moment to soak in that we are on a day when there's a brand new Taylor Swift album coming out. We're the first people to hear it. We're the first people to talk about it. 50 years from now, people will be talking about this album, and we're talking about it on the day that it comes out.
Yes.
Isn't that cool?
Yes.
Cool. Okay, so you're going to get dressed and go to your party. I'm going to spin it, and then when you come home from your party, we'll do a proper review of favorite songs and impressions. Okay?
I want to look at it.
You've got it. All right.
Book.
See you in a little bit.
Bye.
Okay, Cozy went off to her Swiftie party, and we're going to have her back up here in a little bit to give her impressions of the Tortured Poets department. I just quickly wanted to jump in. We were going to do it while she was at the party, but Cozy's mom and I decided to go out and have a child-free evening while the Swifties swifted. Here's my first impression. It's a really great Lana Del Rey album. I'm just kidding. The opening lines of the first song, Fortnight, just sound so influenced by her work with Lana Del Rey that there is definitely some influence there that sort of pops up through the record. Lana is not on this album. She was on Midnights, but she's not on this album. But let me tell you, first of all, I love it. I love this album deeply. And I have, since my first video I did about the Midnights album, which I'll include in the link in the description, I've learned how to listen to Taylor Swift records, which is, you got to pay attention to the lyrics. It's all about the words, the wordplay, the cleverness of them, and you sink into the lyrics, and then you kind of let the sound surround you. And this record is, a nice follow-up to Midnights. It's the same vibe, produced by the same guy, Jack Antonoff, has a similar downbeat, lo-fi, late night vibe to it. There's really only one upbeat song, which I Can Do With a Broken Heart. Of course, the talk about this record is who the songs are about. Are they about Joe? Are they about Maddie? Are they about Travis? I mean, some are obvious. Say Goodbye to London. So Long London. That's the name of it. Obviously about her time, her 6-year relationship with Joe, the smallest man in the world, I think is the name of it, is obviously about the guy from 1975. I mean, some of these lyrics are just vicious, and it must have been cathartic for her to get all this out. I mean, some people have said that she needs an editor, like she just throws it all out there. But when you really listen to the words and know where they're coming from, I didn't really understand. You had to know the soap opera to really appreciate this music. But even if you don't, these songs are really well constructed and very appealing. Also, she's a 34-year-old woman, so she is pretty liberal with the F-bombs, which is sometimes challenging, when you want your 9-year-old to love this music and sing along with it in the car. But I think Cozy knows when to edit herself. There are some themes on this besides kind of the anger at people for breaking her heart. I mean, there is a lot of anger about these long-term relationships, especially the one that she had, which I didn't realize. She was pregnant and had a miscarriage, and there's a song on Midnights about that now when I listen to, I just want to sob. And it sort of pops up again. There are themes about drug use, which is interesting because she sings a lot about drinking. Since she's become an adult, she's singing a lot about being drunk in the back of the car. And she talks about being an alcoholic on the very first track of this record. But there are references to people smelling like weed and people using heroin. And I think, again, this is a reference to her relationship with Maddie Healy, who was very open about his drug use. And I think that was a huge problem. There's also the shift into the Travis years, and songs like The Alchemy obviously seem to be about him. They have football references, and so there is this arc of this sort of relationship ending, getting it all out, and then kind of coming to some recognition about the value of that. Even on the bonus tracks, I mean, we're just really focusing on the vinyl edition, and the last song on this version is Manuscript, which is a great song, and I have a feeling it is not about anybody. It's a song about sort of looking back on a relationship. It might be about one of these people. But, and the bonus record, the anthology version, there's like a pretty clear diss at Kim Kardashian, but it also thanks Kim Kardashian for putting her through that hell that made her stronger. And now she is the person that she is, partially because of the Kanye West, Kim Kardashian drama that knocked her off her feet for about a year. So, like Midnights, there's a lot of personal analysis. going inward into your brain and analyzing yourself. I'm not going to go through all the tracks. Cozy will probably want to talk about some of her favorite tracks, especially the Florida song about that has Florence from Florence and Machine on it. I do want to mention though, sort of one upbeat song about I Could Do It With a Broken Heart is about coming out of that relationship with Joe Arwen and then having to hit the Eras tour and put a smile on your face. And one of the themes that pops up in this is sort of interesting. It's about how she, Taylor Swift, sees herself through the public lens of the media, right? The tabloids and TMZ and Entertainment Tonight and, you know, all the trolling that she gets on the internet, and how there's a version of that we all do. We all use society as a mirror. George Herbert Mead talked about the me and the I, that I look in the mirror and I see me, and me as society's picture of me reflected back at me. And just for somebody like Taylor Swift, it just magnified a millionfold. But we all sort of do that. We all kind of think of ourselves in relationship to how other people see us. And here's someone who's struggling with that in a very public way. And I think there is some insight to be gleaned on this notion of how am I going to let their picture of me determine how I think of myself. And so I think that's a really great theme in it. So, yeah. And one of the things I didn't notice on this album when we opened it up, when we unboxed it, is that there's a poem by Stevie Nicks right in the front. Stevie Nicks wrote her a poem. It says to T. And it is a very Taylor Swift-esque poem about love and love lost. Taylor sort of returns the favor and name checks Stevie Nicks in the last song on the regular album, Clara Bow. It says Stevie Nicks in 1975, which is funny because some of this is about the guy from the band 1975. So there's this great synergy. One of the things I love about this record is that she shouts out or name checks Patti Smith, one of my favorite artists of all time. There's a lot of Patti Smith vinyl in this room. Patti Smith and Oscar Wilde. So I hope there's a whole generation of Swifties who are Googling Patti Smith right now and are getting into Gloria and Because the Night and Pissing in the River and listening to some great Patti Smith records, because Taylor Swift mentions Patti Smith and Oscar Wilde. You should also read Oscar Wilde. I could give you a good Oscar Wilde reading list. I've been to his grave in Paris. And so there's all that good stuff. The one thing I would say about this record, not in a critical way, but I think she needs a band. There's a certain sameness that comes through on these last several records. I mean, she's still working with the same producer, so I would say get a new producer. Jack Antonoff has been great, right? He's created this monster that is your contemporary catalog. Get a band. She plays with some of the members of the Bleachers on here, but it's mostly synthesizer. So there's a certain sameness to the sound that somebody that doesn't appreciate her lyrics or kind of what she represents could be like, yeah, it all sounds the same to me. I would love to hear her play with a live band. The stuff that she does acoustically on the guitar and piano, like if you've ever seen the NPR Tiny Disc concert, it's brilliant. Those songs really come to life when they're stripped away from the synthesizer backing tracks. But other than that, I love this record. We have played it a dozen times, and it's worth having in your collection. But more importantly, we need the opinion of a Swiftie. So I'm going to bring Cozy back up to the Vinyl Addict and get her take on it, because hers is the opinion that truly matters. We're back with Cosette Valentina Blazak. Yay! Okay, first things first, how was the Swiftie party?
It was so fun.
Yeah? What happened at it?
Well, we listened to the full album. Mm-hmm. Well, most of it, because we almost ran out of time. We listened to, most of the album, and we played, and we were, acting like the albums.
Acting like the albums? And you went as...
Reputation.
Reputation. That's
Mm-hmm.
Reputation. Mom did a good job on your hair and makeup.
Yes.
Man, you really looked like, I thought Taylor Swift's bad reputation. Big reputation. Big reputation. I got a big reputation. Was in our living room. Okay, so let's talk about the album. I got it right there up on the wall. Been playing it a lot. And first of all, what's your favorite song on it? And
Florida.
Why? Florida.
By Taylor Swift and Florence the Machine.
Yeah, and what do you like about that song?
I feel like their voices just go together like that. They just sound really good together.
It sounds really good. It has a good. It's true that they do complement each other very well. I have to edit the cat out. I'm not a big Post Malone fan, but I really like how his voice sounded.
Yeah, my two favorites are definitely Florida and Fortnite.
Fortnite, yeah. Fortnite, which is also an English term for 2 weeks, which she probably picked up when she was spending all her time in prisons in London. There's a lot of themes about prison and being locked up and being in jail, even in the Fortnite video where she's chained and, being experimented on. Okay, so what about the album in general? What's your... you've listened to every Taylor Swift record, pretty much every lyric to every song. How would you describe this record to somebody that never heard it?
I would say... I mean, all the songs are so good.
Yeah.
And just how, Taylor sings it just makes you, feel.
Makes you feel.
What? Yeah.
That's important. There's a certain thing that happens in our brain when music makes us feel things. Do you feel... So here's a big question. Taylor Swift is 34 years old. She's had some serious love relationships. Yeah. A lot of her songs are kind of adult themed. Like she swears a lot on this record.
Just a lot. Not
a lot. But she definitely swears on the Florida song. How do you feel as a 9-year-old listening to the music of a 34-year-old? Do you feel like what about it do you feel you connect to, and what do you feel like, maybe when I'm older I'll understand what that's all about? That's a big question.
I'm only 9 years old, so yeah. I don't.
There's probably, when she talks about being a I remember one time you asked me what's a narcissist, because she talks about narcissism a lot, and that's not something 9-year-olds talk about. Mm-hmm. But it's mainly the feeling that it gives you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you there isn't really a Shake It Off type song on this record, is there? There's not a really upbeat.
Only LOMO.
Oh.
LOMO.
LO, yeah, Love of My Life. That's one of my favorite songs too. Yeah. That LOML. Yeah, and also the song I Can Do It With a Broken Heart.
Yeah.
That's I can imagine dancing to that.
I was talking. I meant to say I can do it.
I can. It's weird dancing to it because she talks about I'm so depressed.
That I act like it's my birthday.
Yeah, I can't imagine people on the dance floor dancing to that song because it's got an upbeat. Because it's about going out on tour and having to put a smile on your face while your heart is breaking. So I can't imagine people on the dance floor.
But she can do it with a broken heart. That's the thing.
Yeah, she can do it with a broken heart. So, and if she can do it, so can I. More on that later. Great. I'm glad that you liked it. Are you? And did you get a chance to listen to any of the songs on the anthology, the longer version?
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
There's that song about Kim Kardashian.
Yeah. It was.
Thank you, Amy.
Thank you, Amy.
Oh my gosh.
The capitalized letters spelled out.
It's really good. It's about healing. I mean, it's a lot about healing, which is not a message that we get. And one of the things I love about Taylor Swift, and I love that my daughter gets to hear, is we need messages about women being strong and girls being strong, but we also need messages about women and girls and the rest of us being vulnerable and sharing our pain and be willing to spill our guts out unedited. And I think that gives permission in this era where we're trying to raise strong young women who can go out and fight in the world to also be vulnerable and be open and honest with their hearts. So I'm glad that you have this moment. This is sort of like Beatlemania when I was born. Yeah. It is crazy how huge this is. Yeah. And the hope is somehow we get tickets to one of her era's shows.
Also, in the raffle, since they closed it, did you see if we?
Yeah, I haven't announced it yet. We've entered a few contests for Paris, for New Orleans. Taylor's playing on her birthday on August 18th in London. So I don't know. Maybe I'll win the lottery. Tickets start at $1,000 each. So we're gonna work on that. We're gonna work because I want you to see her in person. My first concert when I was 9 years old, when I was your age, was Elvis Presley. and I lost my frickin' mind.
I thought it was Kiss.
Kiss was a little bit later.
Oh.
Yeah, 9 years old. Kiss was 13. 9 years old. My parents took me to see Elvis Presley, and I could not believe I was looking at him in 3D. Like, this icon was there, and I want you to have that experience with Taylor Swift, so we're going to work on that. Okay, so one of the mentions of, there we go, which, you know, technically her last album isn't Midnight's. Technically her last album is the 1989 Taylor's version.
Yeah.
So we're getting some good Taylor Swift at age 9 coming out into this house. Okay, so one of the people that she mentions on this record is Patti Smith.
Yeah.
And you don't know about Patti Smith, but Patti Smith is a huge hero of mine. I've met her. I've seen her a million times. In a weird way, I'm on one of her albums, which we'll explain more about that later. So next week on Vinyl Fetish, we're gonna do an episode of focusing on a great Patti Smith album, Easter, that I want to talk about, and hopefully some of you new Patti Smith fans who have heard about her through Taylor Swift will join us next week on Vinyl Fetish. This album matters. Taylor Swift matters. This crazy moment matters that we're in. I'm so happy we get to talk about it, and I'm more happy that I get to share it with my fabulous daughter. She will talk about this Taylor Swift thing, when she's my age, 50 years from now, and it's just a spectacular experience, and we're happy to share it with you here on Vinyl Fetish. All right, say goodnight, Gracie.
Good night, Gracie.